What's good, y'all? So we're back, part two of Past This Challenge, and I completely forgot that I had this order still active. Um, as you see, we are in drawdown. We are passing the midway point of this demand zone, about $100 of drawdown. So still plenty of wiggle room, only risking profit at this point. See, we had a pretty decent start to the challenge, so we got a lot to work with. But right now, it's trying to reject, but I'm not going to be too confident in it just yet. Was those bars too? Oh, shoot. What's good, y'all? We are back for part two of Past This Challenge, and I completely forgot that I had this oil order still set. So that pulled back and tapped me in at 9 a.m. And we're trying to reject the midpoint of this demand zone. So if we are able to do that, then we are in good hands. So we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. Hopefully we can keep rejecting. If I can get a close above demand, then I'll probably reduce my risk to the halfway point. Just because at this point now, I'm just all about mitigating risk and maximizing reward. So I'm okay with taking more break evens now just because I have about $500 of profit to risk. So now we're not even risking the account itself, which is a very good thing. Yeah, so if we can get that close above, I'll reduce it to basically under this candle here, but just gotta be patient. I personally don't like to immediately move my stops to break even just because the market's still pulling back and forth, so it might tap me out while still in motion. So we're gonna be patient. We're gonna let this rock, and I'll be right back with an update. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Sean back for part two of the part two of the Past This Challenge series. So I'm not gonna waste any time. We just gonna hop right up here to the charts just to review today and then see what I'm looking for tomorrow. But first, I just want to show y'all this life of a trader, man. The moment that I exited the trade when it was down here just to be safe, just because I wasn't sure what it was trying to do, it flew to my take profit. So it is what it is. No big deal. I didn't lose, so that's the most important part of it. But going into tomorrow, I'm going to look to go long on gold once again. Trying to, because like I said, I do all of this on the fly. I am not logged into my trading account, so let me do that real quick. Just so y'all can see me do it in real time. Gotta pull my password real quick. And there we go. As you see, I'm still on the same account. But before I continue, before I forget, I closed this trade when it was closing past the halfway point at a slight loss. I have the video recorded on my phone, so I'm going to insert that right now. All right, y'all. So oil is not playing out in my favor. I am probably not gonna hold just because I just want to preserve my risk. So in real time, I'm going to close it here. And there, as you see, still the same account. And that is my total profit for the day. So that was me actively closing the trade just so y'all could see me do it in real time. And just so I can keep y'all up to date with every move that I make, bars, I just need to start being a rapper, man. But here we are. Let me go back to gold, actually. Let me keep this in order. So yeah, so I'll be looking for this pullback into 1 hour demand. So I can get away with 30 ticks. So we're going to look for 60. Let's see what risk that gives me. $300 for $600. That is $100 more than what I normally like to do. I normally like to risk 200, 250 at most, but we can do it. We can do that. But then let's go over securities, ES or the S&P. I'm seeing no structure there. Same with NASDAQ and US 30. So my analysis is the same on that right here. But then next we have AUD USD futures. So we still got this big old setup to look forward to, but so far not seeing any decent structure. Now, GBP USD, I got out at the perfect time. As you see, I took sells there, I bought it here, and then price reversed on me completely. So perfect timing. Again, life of a trader, man. Sometimes the market's just gonna do you like that. But my laptop finna die. Let me go ahead and get this recording out for y'all real quick. But I'll be looking for this pullback once again into 1 hour demand. Let me just see, because we could probably do 60 ticks again. Do 60 ticks. I'll do the 1 to 1.5. Yeah, let's do the 1 to 1.5. So 60 ticks for 90. Let's check our risk. 228 for $345. I like that. We're going to go ahead and place that pending order right there. Next, we have Euro USD futures. It did the same thing that GU did. I was able to catch that one candle into profit. Then it immediately reversed to break structure highs. I figured that because it broke those lows, it was going to continue downwards, but obviously that was not the case. No big deal. So I, once again, am going to be looking for demand. So for the most part, I'm not shorting much of anything. I'll probably do a 1 to 1.5 there as well. Let's just check. $210 for 320. Let's try the 1 to 2. If we did a 1 to 2 right there. 210 for 425. I like that. So those are those orders for tomorrow. We already did gold. Now copper, I'm leaving it alone just because of this big old market opening gap. So it's definitely going to need to come back to refill this. Yeah, so I'm probably going to leave it alone. But if I was to try to take it, that's what I would be looking for. But no, I do not play with those gaps, especially like that. So now silver, this is an interesting one. So we pulled back into this macro area of supply as seen right here. And the gap actually pulled us into our micro area of supply. So I could realistically take the sells there. Let's check the risk. Next contract may still be displayed. Okay, so just a contract switch just because it's about to be May. $370 to make 850. See, I like it, but I'm gonna just do that right there. So can we pull the 1 to 3? Potentially. So I'm going to, oh, look at that spread. Absolutely not. Nope. Nope. That spread was egregious. Nope, I'm not touching that. Jesus. Yeah, so no. So now, lastly, for oil, let me jump back up to the daily actually. We still have this area of supply that we can pull into, but so far I'm seeing all that choppiness and I don't like it. So it looks like we trading Forex today. Let's see if we can get some slight pullbacks there, just because that is a long way from home. And if the setup fails, and I understand why, it's because all of these lows down here failed to hold, and we are pulling back down to 1.1151 for the longer term buys. And then we got gold. So let me flag these actually. Flag everything that I'm going to be looking at. So we got gold. We got Euro USD. And then we have GBP USD. Let me just double check, make sure trend wasn't broken, which it wasn't. And there we go. So those are my trades for the day. I'll check back with y'all if something happens. Good morning. Good morning. We are back once again. It is a few hours later, but gold is almost set up. I'm trying to see if it can enter before the JOLTS job opening news event that happens at 10 a.m. Eastern. It is currently 8:44. You can see from the top right of my screen. But if I don't have any orders active prior to that, which I doubt I will from Euro USD and GBP USD, I'm just going to go ahead and close these for the day just to be extra safe. Just because my personal experience, my edge completely vanishes when there's news. And 8 times out of 10, unless you yourself has practiced being a news trader, your edge is probably going to vanish as well. So I'd rather take high quality trades than high quantity of trades. I don't need to place 80 million trades just to try to pass this challenge. I'm showing y'all how to do this the proper way. We're going to take our time with it. I'm not trying to pass this in 2 days just to be able to put it in a YouTube video. You feel me? So we got gold here is trying to wick. Honestly, if this candle flips and pushes by 9:30, then I'm just going to go ahead and close it. But if not, then that's it for my day, honestly. So I'll hit y'all back when there's something that's going on. All right, y'all. We are back with another update. I'm going to share our screen straight over here. So as you can see, I'm currently in AUD, USD, and copper. So these two pending orders hit. So what I've been doing recently is at the start of each trading day around 6 to 7 p.m., I look for any setups. I activate, I set my pending orders, and then I just let them rock out from there. So I'm going to set an alert right here just in case. So just so y'all can see how I operate in real time. So copper breaking and boom right there. So that one still has yet to take off. And then we got AUD USD here. I already got an alert set up there. So hopefully when I wake up in the morning, I'm waking up to some good news. So we'll see in a few hours. Good morning. Good morning. It is now the next morning from last night's analysis, and I took a slight win, but then Copper absolutely cooked me off of a mistake on my end. So y'all gonna see the good and bad of this challenge, you know what I'm saying? I still make mistakes. I don't act like, let me adjust that real quick. There we go. You know what I'm saying? I tell y'all all the time, you're not gonna win every trade. Even the slightest error can cause you to lose a trade. So let's go straight into that, shall we? So first we have the AUD USD trade. First, I entered here, and then Australian CPI came out. I completely forgot about that, but luckily that played in my favor, so I moved my stops. This one, for some reason, just doesn't want to exit, but I placed stops at the, get rid of that, at 0.6398, and as you see, AU came all the way back in one freaking candle to stop me out at a small profit, which I wasn't surprised about because I believe I said at the beginning of this week that if a setup fails, this is why. So overall, we were still in a range. I just thought that I could catch a little push somewhere up here before potentially falling, but that didn't happen. It is what it is. On to the next one. This is what absolutely cooked me. So the first mistake, I forgot to look for macro supply and demand. So if I would have done that, I would have seen we was at macro supply, and I should have been expecting bearish pressure, but instead I started here on the 1 hour and the 15-minute instead, and I got absolutely cooked. But it's okay because why? My risk was managed. So that's gonna do it for this day. Let me just update y'all in real time once again. So the only position I have left on the day that I seen this morning when I woke up is this GJ setup right here. So this is my idea for it. The Japanese yen futures is not GJ, my bad. But yeah, Japanese yen futures. So I'm thinking of this. That could potentially happen. It takes this 4-hour demand to go into macro supply, to go into even more macro demand. But just in case it wants to be a little funny and try to crash through, I got my alert set right there. So I'm probably not going to let the whole 400 go. That's 64 ticks. 250. I'll do that. But here is my account balance for the day. Here's my account summary. I'm gonna make this a little bigger for y'all. So down 150 for the day. I'm going to pull up the P&L right now just so y'all can see it. And yeah, so if this trade fails, then that will be it for the day. And honestly, it for my week. I did not see any more decent setups. Like I said, I'm not focusing on securities right now just because the uncertainty behind these tariffs is keeping NASDAQ, ES, and YM in ranges. Matter of fact, let me pop it up again just to show y'all. Yeah, so right now it's in a range, but we are within macro supply. So if a drop off does happen, I'm expecting it. Then you could say the same for the other two, since they're basically the same pair, just a different name at that point. But I personally have hopes that these negotiations with the tariffs go good, and eventually NASDAQ, or well, securities will make it back to pre-tariff highs there, as well as breakthrough structure swing highs there. But one thing I will say is, if slash when we get back up here, pay attention to how the news describes it, right? Because I'm gonna put it like this. Keep in mind, this is no political page. I don't care about your political affiliation. That's not my business. I only care about the money. But what I have been peeping is that as the stock market's dropped, we all blame the orange man for it. But now if the stock markets get back to normal, what is the news going to say now? Because they said that he was now manipulating the markets. But if they continue to drop, are they going to still say that? So just pay attention to the news, mainstream news on either side is slowly starting to become more unreliable. So I encourage each and every one of y'all to do your own research, to come to your own conclusions, and don't conclude anything based off of emotions alone. All right. But that's going to be it for me. A little shorter video than most. And yeah, so I will catch y'all in the next video. And another update should be coming maybe next week. All right. But until next time, peace.